Hello guys, my name is Fizzy, as per usual, and welcome back to another league race on F1 2016 in the AOR PC Split 1 League. This is round 13 out of the 21 races this season, and we are this week at the Belgian Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Currently chilling out in the qualifying session, looking at the timing overview. As you can see, we have got a time on the board that isn't very fast, the 1:47.9. Got us down in 11th place at the moment, and then down to 14th as we were starting, our second run right at the end of this session. So as we watch this lap, I'm gonna make a bit of a disclaimer for this one. I don't usually like to make excuses for myself, as you maybe know, but I think the special circumstances surrounding this particular race warrants a bit of an excuse. So this race took place on the 22nd of January, so nearly a month ago, so I'm trying to catch up here on my videos, but anyway, the problem with this race taking place on the 22nd of January is that I was part of a 24-hour endurance race on iRacing that started on 21st of January and ended, like 3 PM or something on 22nd of January, so not too many hours before this race started. That was the 24 Hours of Daytona race, of course, which I did, representing Team AOR along with a few other guys. And I stayed up. I didn't drive for all of the 24 hours, of course, but I stayed awake, and I was live streaming the whole race. So I was awake for the full 24 hours. So after that race, I went straight to bed, but only got a couple of hours of proper sleep in for this race. So I was feeling absolutely knackered. And now you can see what happened because of it. Yeah.
That looked bad. Are you alright?
That happened because of it. So it's easy when you're very sleep deprived to lose concentration. That's what I did on my last quali lap, and unfortunately that meant I was stuck with that 1:47.9 lap, which had me last out of the guys who set a time, down in 16th place. So that wasn't too helpful for my race, really, but in any case, we move on from that and see if we can make up any positions during the race. Strategy-wise, I decided to go for the strategy that I did quite successfully in the pre-season evaluation race, which was to start on the mediums and only do one stop to go onto the soft tires. Obviously, you saw in qualifying, the most drivers qualify on the soft, so even the guys in the top 10 will be able to do one stop here, most likely, but I decided to go, at least slightly different by starting on the mediums rather than the soft. So I'll have the slightly faster tires towards the end of the race and starting off on the slower compound. Yeah, obviously because of my sleep deprivation and, not having done too much practice either because of that, expectations for this race was really quite low, especially starting in 16th place, but let's see what we can do now as the lights are out for the Belgian Grand Prix. Smoke everywhere in front of us as all the cars now go down towards turn 1, hopefully to navigate it cleanly. We take me quite cautiously, braking early as we got a car up the inside, so I think there might be 3 wide now, just about chicane got ahead of it, and there seems to be a clean start really, no major contact. Afro dropping back a little bit, so he's gotten maybe a poor exit or just a bit of a touch with someone. We're going to be side by side up on Rouge as I've got a legal overtake, actually slightly too much on the curb there on the entry to Rouge. But I felt like I had to give space there just because we were side by side, and we gain now time on chicane going down the straight as there are cars battling ahead of us as well. Oh darn, defending hard from Lol Kellan trying to get involved there. Chicane still on our inside through into Le Com now. Let's see if we can carry a good amount of speed through here. Chicane now will of course have the inside for the final part, and we've just not taken a really good amount of speed. Oh darn, in the wall on the right hand side, Knally even know that. Wait, that is chicane. It was Afro that passed us first, and then chicane came past, and now Knally is right behind us trying to challenge us into the corner with no name, but we managed to defend that one just about. And it's been a slightly scruffy start from us to this race, but that's just how it is. At least now through Puon we managed to stay on the track instead of understeering wide, we said it several times during qualifying. So yeah, the main aim, I guess, for the first stint, we'll just have to try and keep up with someone. Try to be close to as many cars as we can. By the time that they're going to go into the pits, the guys start on the softs. Oh my word, as we have spun it on that curb, going onto the back straight. A good save though, to be fair to myself. It was pretty good, but Nally now catching very rapidly down the straight because of it, and we've kind of lost touch with the guys ahead already. Going into now the bus stop chicane, which isn't really a bus stop anymore. Nally on the inside, and oh, that's not good. We've been hit by Nally. Almost looked like he hit us with the rear of his car there. As we're now rejoining the track, O'Donnell's gone back through. We even slightly tapped the wall with our side pods going back on the track, but lucky that didn't spin us around even more, but that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I thought I left Nally enough room there on the inside of the bus stop, but clearly, you know, he didn't manage to quite slow it down, so that's a shame. That's lost quite a bit of time, and again on the next lap we've lost it on that curb. Stupid curb going into the back straight. O'Down also struggling quite a bit. Good to see still going though, because it looked like quite a hefty hit he had out of Lecombe on lap 1, but it seems like it's going without at least too much damage. You can see on the minimap, of course, that ahead of O'Down there's now a big gap because of that incident that I had. So it's already set up for a very tough race. You know, if I can get into the points at all. Of course, I have a streak this season of being inside the points, inside the top 10 for every race I finish. Obviously in Monaco I didn't finish, but for every race I have finished I've been in the top 10. That might change today, but at least we managed to make a position up on O'Down to go up to 50th place on the Camel Straight. Quite easy move there with the DRS. Nothing really he could have done to defend that one. But it definitely is going to be a long race, and I need to get some major concentration and pace from somewhere if I want to gain positions, or just be a bit lucky. Because the yellow flag at top of Rouge, Nicky has been sent in the wall, either by himself or by someone else. Done a bit of a Kevin Magnussen there, which is a thing I don't like to bring up, but I've done it anyway, as Nuka now on lap 9 going very slow into the bus stop and going into the pits. So he might have damage or some sort of other issue that has forced him to pit not too early, I guess. I guess it's a normal time to pit for the guys to start on the softs. You can see a couple of more cars in the pits there as well, and we are actually in the top 10 now in P8, but of course now quite a few cars behind us have pitted already. Non-runner coming out of the pits there, slotting in right behind us on fresh tyres, and we did manage to keep him behind for a little bit, but then a major lock-up into turn 10, which has sent us way out wide before turn 11. Non-runner slipping through with ease because of that. But of course, with the difference in pace and tyre wear there wasn't going to be much to be done. Oh, and non-runner actually in the foreground there made a pass up our Rouge on Mini Black on the next lap, which looked quite impressive from back when I was watching. So anyway, at the end of lap 11, we went in exactly the halfway point of the race in for the soft tyres to take us till the end. Chicane not too far ahead actually, so we managed to close the gap to Chicane a little bit. So now that's Nuka coming past us just about as we come out of the pits, and we are in P12 after the pit stops. So that's certainly better than the P15 we were on at the start of the race after passing O'Down. And skipping up to the end of lap 13 now as well, Chicane struggling a bit through the bus stop. Nuka going straight past him on the exit, and that has given him a poor exit. Maybe a chance for us to pass as well. We're going to have the outside line into turn 1, and we had enough of momentum on the straight there to be fully ahead into the corner. And that is P11 actually, so suddenly it's looking possible for us to get some points. And now lap 16, Nuka making a move on Marek up ahead, as we actually set a purple first sector, but that is blatantly because of DRS. So unlike last time at Hockenheim when I did set a fast lap actually for a bit, there's not too much to brag about on this occasion. But yeah, P10 right ahead of us all of a sudden. I'm not really sure how this has happened. I've kind of, despite my sleep deprivation, I was running relatively decent pace really after the first few laps. So that was a bit of a surprise, and now we are suddenly in at the mix for a potential points finish after all. And gaining on Marek now on the back straight, but yeah, not quite enough to make a move. Oh, and Marek actually pits. Marek pits at the end of lap 16, which is a very late pit stop. So that must be his second stop. He must have had some kind of issue earlier in the race that forced him into an early stop. Or maybe he had planned to do a 2-stop, I'm not quite sure. But either way, that has actually put us into 10th place. And over the next couple of laps as well, we're catching up to Kalon, who is on the medium tyres at the moment. More durable, of course, but not quite as fast as the soft. So at this stage, my soft tyres should be in a better state to compete with a Kalon. Chicane behind, of course, interestingly, is on the super soft, which is a bit of a different strategy. His tyres might start wearing out towards the end of the race, but at the moment he's keeping up with me quite nicely. So it's kind of a three-way scrap for a 9th position now. I'm in the middle. Nuka starting to pull away out in front. So let's see if we can make a move now on Kalon up after Arouge. We need to stay close to him here. We are definitely within DRS range. Marek with the fastest lap, which is interesting. He's now surely also on the super soft tires for the last 6 laps over the race. And will be running very, very fast. Whether he'll be able to catch us up by the end, I do not know. But now DRS enabled. We're not really quite as close enough to Kalon as I would have hoped. He's forced to go defensive, or very defensive in fact. We tried to get a better line through there, but his car was kind of in the way. I couldn't really do much to get ahead. So Kalon on this occasion has managed to defend as I've nearly just smacked into the back of him. Ooh, gotta make sure Chicane doesn't get a chance to overtake because of that. Very easy to lock up into that turn 10 corner, as I've done a couple of times this race already. So that has dropped us a bit of time on Kalon, but we managed to close that back in through the middle sector. And now let's see if we can get a run on the back straight. As Kalon always run really wide, that's good. They'll definitely give us a good run up to Rich Mix just to make sure we get our car ahead before Blanchimont, preferably, because it's not really ideal to be side by side through here. We're gonna leave room just in case though, because he still had part of the car alongside, and that means we're gonna be still side by side into the chicane now. I was brake a bit too early there actually. I didn't really want to brake that early. Maybe I didn't really take into consideration that I wasn't as fast into there as usual because of my lift through Blanchimont. And unfortunately that has actually allowed Kalon back through with a good overtake from him. So we're just going to have to try and make it work in the DRS zone once again. And this time I think we're slightly closer than we were on the previous lap. Turn the fuel mix up to Rich again. We've not got too much fuel left actually. We're right on the edge in terms of fuel. But when you're on this rate you preferably want to have a Rich mix enabled. But we're not really gaining. I think maybe Kalon's running low downforce. I mean, I'm not really sure. But either way we're not really getting too fast. I'm going to have to try and make a stick on the braking. Was ahead of him briefly, but went too deep, and again he's managed to defend it through Lecombe, and also going to be wary of chicane still right there behind us. But now, later in the lap again, middle sector, we were able to keep close to Kalon through this sector, but here there's not really any obvious place to overtake, so yeah, this definitely isn't going to be an easy task to get myself ahead of Kalon. And I think actually, looking at the minimap, the dot that's not too far behind our trio here, that is Marek closing on the super soft tires, as now Kalon again is going to pour around onto the back straight, and this time we have the inside line now through Blanchimont, and this time as well we have the car fully ahead, so we don't have to worry about him going through there flat out, and then braking this time at a more reasonable place into the chicane. Slight lock up, but I think Kalon also went a bit deep there. So, is this the overtake? That means we're going to stay ahead of Kalon. We can see on the DRS rate on lap 21, we weren't under pressure at all. He wasn't close enough to challenge us into there. So we didn't even have to go defensive, which is good. So it looks like we might have the pace. Never mind. Well, we might have the pace to pull away from Kalon, but we certainly don't have the concentration to do it, because we completely mess up Puon, and Kalon just got back straight back ahead of us again because of that. And now there is a four-way battle. Marek on those fresh super soft tires has caught up to the back of us on the final lap of the race. You can see it's now past chicane back there, and unfortunately we aren't really close enough to Kalon. We lost some time somewhere. That means we are not close enough to challenge Kalon with a DRS on the final lap. That could be crucial, because now we're going to have to try and close him down in the middle sector and maybe gamble in an overtake through the bus stop, but we're going to have to be more wary of Marek behind, because he's on the super fresh tires. He's been catching us a couple of seconds per lap for the last 6 laps, maybe even more, and he has now come back at us to maybe demote me out of the points to ruin my streak of points finishes. It's going to be really, really tricky to defend. I've gotten scared already defending into Puon, which is not really an easy place to overtake, but he had such a good run on the previous corner. Kalon now running wide through Puon as well, and Marek now getting a run on my left-hand side, and Kalon's kind of sitting in the middle of the track through there, which meant I had to be a little bit cautious into the braking zone, trying to fight back to Marek here, but I think we just don't have the grip for it. We don't have the grip on these one soft tires to hold on around the outside of Marek when he's got the fresher super soft tires. And unfortunately that means we're out of the points unless something miraculous happens here. as Marek's now going to try to get Kellon as well before the line. And we are actually gaining a little bit of both of them because Marek's been forced to back out of it with Kellon's defensive line. And he's obviously going to defend into the bus stop chicane. Oh, and Marek's gone really deep there. Kellon's hit the apex nicely. Oh, and Marek's... Oh, can we hold it from the outside? We have managed to get him back. We have managed to get Marek back because of that late braking he did. And we've actually finished in the top 10, running out of fuel as well across the line. P9 even, because Kellon actually had a penalty. And Marek also had a 3-second penalty. So actually, I was safe to finish in 9th place, even if I hadn't managed to get past Marek there. But obviously I didn't know that. So that's a good feeling. Managed to salvage a top 10 finish. Again, right at the death when it was looking very, very bleak. So considering my preparations or lack thereof ahead of this race and my extreme knackeredness because of that Daytona race, I will gladly take a points finish here. It was a big struggle just to get in the points, but I will, you know, normally I would have wanted to finish higher up at Spa, but on this occasion, given the circumstance, I will take it. And a good battle with Kellon, Marek, and a couple of other guys as well. So we are still holding on to 3rd in the driver championship, still holding on to 2nd in the team championship. So we'll end it on that note. Thank you very much all for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and hope you also will join me next time for the Italian Grand Prix, when I promise that I will have done a bit more practice, that I will have done a bit more sleep, and that I will be a bit more aware even of everything that goes on in the race in that one. So that's that. Goodbye.